Hey guys, Stitching May here to do my weekly update video. So it's technically early Friday morning. Haven't been to bed yet, so I'm going to count it as Thursday night. Anyway, guys, it has been a crazy busy week. It's been fall break. Monday, we just kind of hung around, went out to eat with some friends. Tuesday, we went over to a town called Huntsville. We did the space center there. I got to go to a cross-stitch store near the area called Patches and Stitches. I got to meet Jenny, Long Dog Sampler, or Stitcher, there and her children. It was a very quick meet and greet, but we do have plans to go back and do lunch and stitch some together because we realize how close we are. Then on the way back, we got to see 2 overlooks. It was a crazy busy day. That day, the second overlook we went to actually is a small river, and it has a waterfall, and it is in between here and Huntsville. And so we stopped. We knew the water was going to be low, and that's why we stopped. And we were actually able to walk out onto the riverbed. That's how low the river is. And so we've done it before. We went out with my son. We were walking around the riverbed. To hear my son tell the story is much better than when I tell the story. As we were coming back, there's this little part of the river that's literally like a foot wide. And when we get a lot of rain, or the area gets a lot of rain, there is a lot of water. There was not at this time. So it's like a foot long part, about maybe a foot and a half deep. And I was like, we just should take off our shoes and step across. And I'm like, no, we don't want to get wet. So I step across in my leggings and my canvas kid tennis shoes without any issue. And then my son goes to step across, hits a wet rock. Oh, he thought it was so cool to walk on the river bottom and he kept calling it bedrock from Minecraft. He thought it was so amazing. Steps on the wet bedrock and slides to his butt in the water, freaks out, gets up, and instead of, now that he's wet, just stepping on over to where I am, goes back to where his dad is. So then my husband goes to pick him up and put him down on his feet on the other side. My husband hits the same wet spot, and he falls into the water. They slid a little bit, but to hear my son tell it, the water pushed them almost to the waterfall. It wasn't even close. We were a good like acre from the waterfall, but to hear him say we were so close to going to the river, it was hilarious. Anyway, they both got cooled off in the river water, and we got in the car and came on home. But we had an awesome day that day, very tiring day. And then Wednesday, Miss Connie came over. I got to stitch with her. We had a blast. That night, my sister came over. We've had a sister day today. And then tomorrow, we're going to Atlanta with a coworker and her son to do some kind of play date. I don't know what we're doing yet. It's just been a very busy week. However, on top of that, I've done quite a lot of stitching. I think I've done like now it's like 2,100 stitches, some odd. I didn't count exact numbers since last video. As you know, I am in Magical Stitches, so I completed all of last week's homework and all of this week's homework already. And that's Magical Stitches. In Semi-Sane, I joined a Halloween retreat murder mystery. Guys, words are failing me today. I apologize. Sorry, they're horrible. A murder mystery, and I had to stitch 50 to get into the retreat. Then I had to do 700 stitches for introductions, because you had to meet the 7 VIPs of the retreat. And then I had to do 400 penalty stitches because I was at work and didn't get to stitch the 250. And then I had to do another 500 penalty stitches because I was at work and didn't get to do the 250. And then I've done another 250 stitches. And then now I'm working on a group that we're trying to get to 5,000 stitches amongst the group. I'm working on my burst sampler for that. I'm not going to show it in this video because I think I've done like 15 stitches so far. Gonna do this video, gonna go to bed. I'm gonna stitch it tomorrow too. Try to get some stitches in because we got 24 hours to get the stitches. With that said, let's just jump into the stitching and show you. In no particular order, because I don't remember all the orders, and some of it was back and forth. I worked on my Pugs Not Drugs. This is by Tiny Modernist off Etsy. It's for a coworker who has a pug. This is stitched for in the called for DMCs, on 14 count white Ada 3/1. Nothing too fancy. This is where I was before. Guys, this little guy, it's almost done. I gotta fill in his little pumpkin head and then do the top part, and then I will be finished. As you guys also know, last week Connie threw down the gauntlet and said that we were finishing, and this month she has got her, all she has to do is backstitch one hat and she will be finished. She can no longer say she's not ahead of me. However, I'm not too far behind. So as you know what N will look like, this is where I was before. So I worked on 3 different blocks this week. I worked on the bottom block. I'll show you each block and then I'll show you the all over. Or actually I'll show you the all over first and then I'll show you each block. This is where I am now. So I worked first on this bottom block. I had to fill in the house to make it white because my fabric is blue and it's supposed to be left blank. But I didn't to make it was white. And then I also worked on the grass some. I then worked on this toast and jam section. Guys, this is so customized, I can't call it the same pattern anymore. My jar, instead of being short and squatty, is tall and skinny. It's a quart jar of jam instead of a, pint. They like the jam. And then I worked on Marilla. I finished all the stitching on Marilla except for all the back stitch. I just have to stitch around the tea kettle and around the inside of her dress. So I actually worked on three pieces, 3 boxes there. My belly's growing. I'm hungry. Something else that I worked on is my green damsel. I finished this up for the magical stitches. This is what it looked like when it's finished. I don't think I have a picture of before because I was currently working on it when I recorded my last video. This is where I am now. I actually got to stitch with Ellen from Cross Stitch Power Hour. And virtual stitches while I worked on this piece. This is stitched in a Victorian motto thread and then 2 coloring cottons. I worked on these orange pieces, which I had to frog twice. I messed up once while I was in the room with Ellen, frogged it, re-stitched, messed it up again in a different spot, stitched again, and now I've got half of this other dragonfly. This is stitched also on 36 count. Picture this plus oaken. That was all kind of fancy. The next thing I worked on, or not the next, another thing that I worked on is this Country Cottage Needleworks Silent Night. I hope to have this finished by Christmas. So it was my next kind of focus piece. This is stitched for the called for DMC suggestions because it does actually call for some sampler threads and weak dye works, but I just used the suggested DMC, except for the white of the church, which is stitched in white lightning by Coloring Cotton. This is where I was before. This is where I am now. I actually finished out my church. Well, all the white of the church. I've got to go back and do the windows and the door. And then I had a new start and pretty much a finish. I've got to decide whether or not I'm going to do the back stitching. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the back stitching because that always makes it pop. This is for an exchange. It came from the 2017 Christmas ornaments, just cross stitch Christmas ornaments. I'll let you guess which one I did. Just in case you can't guess, I will show you. I worked on the dragonfly, the Joy Dragonfly. This is stitched on 18 count navy blue Aida. I used 2 of my the DMC with the Etoile, the new thread, and then some clear beads. It's just the blanc, and then I think 211 is the light blue. And then I added the clear beads. I'm supposed to back stitch the dragonfly and add some flourishes on his wings. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to finish this out as a small pillow with some blue and white gingham backing fabric. So that's it for the stitching. So I only worked on 5 projects. I got over 2,000 stitches done. That's pretty good. Actually, I worked on 6, so I'm just not showing you the birth sampler yet. Now, I did get some haul. 2 things are gifts, so I can't show you those. The other thing that I purchased is the 2019 Prairie Schooler Santa Peace on Earth. When I saw this, it made me immediately think of Belinda and all of her pet lambs. So I think I'm going to name one Sally and one, I think it's Lucky is the most recent lamb she has. But there that is. And the next one comes with an announcement. So I've seen all these wonderful birthday sales, and I decided that I'm going to do a birthday sale. Originally, I was going to do that you could work on any dragonfly. Just work on a dragonfly because, well, I love dragonflies. However, when I was in Patches and Stitches, I saw this piece and it just sang to me. Vintage Birds by Jeanette Douglas. Guys, I absolutely love this piece. So this is going to be my birthday sale. However, you have until April to get it and get your threads and find your fabric. I wasn't going to announce it yet, but with this being my haul, I kind of have to tell you why I got it, because I fell in love with it and I want this to be my birthday sale. So hopefully I'll enable some of you to get this piece and stitch it. There are others in the series, and any Jeanette Douglas is fine. But Vintage Bird is the official one, but then you can stitch on any Jeanette Douglas and still call it my birthday sale. They also have, I think it's okay to show you this because it's just a stitch diagram. They also have Vintage Stars, which is this one. Vintage Flowers, which is that one. And the newest one is Vintage Animals, which is the one my son wanted me to get, and I probably will eventually get all of them because that's what I do. But right now, this one is it. This does have some specialty stitches, as you can see, but it's got great diagrams. It calls for a bunch of different gas threads and some weak style works. I'm probably going to do mine in color and cotton. We'll see. It does have a DMC conversion for it if you don't want to use the specialty fibers. It's got the DMC-ish, you know. Some of them have more than one color, like the General Art Pomegranate. You would have to use 3 DMC. That would be kind of hard. So some of them I'm not going to use the DMC for. Some of them I may use the DMC for. I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. Figure it out. I will more than likely not get the General Arts for these. If I do variated, I'll probably get this up myself for my color and cottons. Because I have way too many of those to not be using them. And they're beautiful. I keep saving them. Why save them? You buy them to use them. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. You buy them to use them, so why would I save them? But guys, that is it. I know to have so many stitches, this is a quick video, but it's just because it was only over a few projects. So I'm going to go now and edit this, and while I edit it, I'm going to get some more stitching in for semi-stained where I can help my teammate out and then get those 5,000 stitches as a group. And then I'm going to go to bed and get up in the morning and finish off fall break with a bang. Thanks guys for watching. Oh, my giveaway winner did get in touch with me. I got her information and her gift is already on its way. So at some point I'll be doing another giveaway. Just kind of watch. I'm not doing any rhyme or reason to mine because I want you to be surprised. I don't want you to come just to watch for the giveaways. You had to suffer through me to get the giveaways. Anyway guys, take care and always happy stitching.